All right, let's see if that makes up a difference on that as well. Welcome back, guys. I do apologize for that. Hopefully the connection is a little bit better. Like I said, I'm playing with this new internet, so we'll see. It is not going to be Starlink, so we're gonna see how this goes. Maybe now that I made the adjustments that it requested, we'll be good. So let's see. It is so weird. It is kind of like moving in slow motion. It's bizarre. I do apologize to anybody out there. I'm gonna have to figure out what this thing is doing now with it being doing that. So anyway, hopefully that works. But it is really weird. What is it doing? Huh. I don't get it. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It's kind of oddball thing, but yeah, well, I'm gonna have to work on that part. Have to do some test runs in private and see what happens here. Why it's lagging so bad. It's kind of driving me crazy, but we'll work with it. It is what it is. So thank you guys, everybody, for coming back. Once again, I'm just giving it a minute here. I don't think it made any difference what I changed. It's like the video is lagging from the OBS, and it's kind of odd, but we'll work with it. Sorry about that. I do apologize. It's gonna look a little bit weird on this live, but that's okay. It's all video, anyways. It's all audio. Well, welcome on in, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Everybody who's joining in now again, great to have you here this evening, and hopefully, you guys have had a fantastic week. Like I said, we're gonna go over the video that we had ongoing here last week, which is kind of partially satire. I threw into it extra, but I'm a scalper and I'm okay with it. And basically, what we had going on in that particular video is that I pointed out some businesses. And I do know businesses that are doing it. I do know LCSs that are doing it. I do know a lot of sources that are doing everything that I said in that video, and that's how I was comfortable with what I said inside of there is because there's a business too that I almost joined in with, and they asked me to join in as a partner onto an LCS here. They made it specifically for Pokemon. They do a little bit now with Magic, with Yu-Gi-Oh, and some other LG or some other TCGs, but they basically built their whole thing on Pokemon. And the fact is that they've only been doing it for about 6 months, 7 months. I talked about that in a video before that I was asked to join into this last summer at the beginning of summer, and I did not do it. And just because I've taken Mr. Mason Berry's words to heart when it comes down to it, that don't get a brick and mortar store, and I did not want to do that. But let's go into a legitimate Pokemon business. We're going to cover this one more time. What is a legitimate Pokemon business, in my opinion? And you can tell me if you've got another definition for it. If you come in later, if you want to put it in the chat, that's fine. But to me, a legitimate Pokemon business is a Pokemon business that started before the hype and FOMO necessarily, had a long-standing business in the Pokemon TCG, or has created a business with a license with the intention of purchasing things and selling them at MSRP in the world. Now, you could have partnerships to get that product, whatever works for you. Some people partner up. There's some buying groups that are available out there now where you can get some product and be able to get in on the purchasing of these particular products. There are also different opportunities out there where you can get in with distributors. It's very difficult again because of all the problems, but yeah, I know it's the same issues, and I know. And basically, you could get in with distributors. So, for example, myself, I have a full business license. I am a sole proprietor business. I have been in business since 2021. That's when my business license started. I have continued to purchase things through LGS since I've got access to it 2 years ago. And the fact is that my distributors are completely letting me down. It's a serious issue. It's a discussion I have with them. It's overall, I know for sure talking to the reps, and I think that most people with distributor access are going to tell you the same thing, that it's because of the current market and the size of the accounts are determining who gets product and who does not. Destiny's Rivals, I was pretty much told, don't even put in a pre-order, you're not going to get any. So I will not be getting any Destiny's Rivals. I am not even able to put in a pre-order for Destiny's Rivals through either one of my LG or either one of my distributors. Pretty much they've pretty much gone. We're not taking any of your, not going to do it. We're not going to guarantee you anything. If you put in for anything, it's just going to be rejected anyway. So don't bother. So basically, that's where I am with both ACD and Southern Hobby. overall, when it comes down to the Pokemon market, if you want to be considered a scalper, if you do not have an LGS and you're just here for the hype, you've sat back for the last 3 years in the Pokemon business scheme and you've sat there and done nothing until the hype picked up, and then you jump back into the bandwagon and you continue to buy product off of store shelves. Your only sources are buying at MSRP, and you are sitting there and reselling those products at a high value. Yes, I would 100% say that that's the scalping side of the market. I have no argument against that whatsoever. And if you're calling yourself a business by simply buying products at MSRP and that has been your whole setup and you're only back during the hype, you're not a business, you're a scalper. If you were here prior to that, absolutely you were a business. If you have been in here through the slow periods of sales in the Pokemon TCG and into the high periods of the sales in the Pokemon TCG, you have gone out and started a brick and mortar. You have gone out and started an online sales business and an actual website where you have built your reputation, then yes, you are 100% a business. And at this point in time, when you get like someone like me with an online business and they literally tell you, you are not getting anything, don't bother pre-ordering, you won't get anything in the next set that's coming out after being with these distributors for multiple years, it tells me that we're in survival mode at this point in time in the Pokemon TCG. And realistically, the only options that you have to survive are to literally go out and buy product wherever you can get it. I do not like buying product at MSRP unless it is not available at my distributor. If it is not available at my distributor, such as Sword and Shield products, yes, I will purchase them at my local store. If I am walking through Walmart and there happens to be a tin of Crown Zenith on the shelf, I'm going to be crazy to walk past that. I cannot buy it from distributor, and the only place you're going to get these products are at a Walmart or online sales paying MSRP or more. So if you are going to do that on Sword and Shield products or products that aren't available at distributor, all more power to you. I don't see any issues with that. Even with a LCS, I see them do the exact same thing. They've done them for years. Even my local LCSs have done that for years. Buy off of eBay. They buy off of different sources. They buy off of secondary sources that aren't distributor because you can't get these products. They buy from me. I mean, these LCSs have bought from me consistently because I do have these products available in my long-term investment, which is something that if you buy at MSRP and you're investing in the things, that's not a problem. I don't see a problem with buying things with the intention of the investment side of things at all and holding on to it long-term and selling 5 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever down the road. It doesn't matter. You're still doing it as an investment and you're holding on to it long-term. You're taking the risks with the gains, and that's part of the investment side. I don't have an issue. But if you're going to sit out there and create a business and say that it's a legitimate business, but you're only here during the hype, during the high times of the hobby when you can make big money, going to your local Walmart and ripping it off, you are a scalper. So in this, I'm going to go back to the LGS that I was almost part of. Basically, they built their whole business on Pokemon. You go into their LGS, it looks like a Pokemon festival. They have plushies, they have all the scenery on the walls, they have a bunch of characters drawn by people in the place. It's a really cool place. It was something that I was asked to join in on, and I decided not to because, like I said, I followed the words of Mason Berry and decided not to do that. It just wasn't in my cards. I do not want to have a brick and mortar, nor did I want to be in partnership in a brick and mortar. I did not feel comfortable with that, and I will never probably feel comfortable with that unless I'm doing it from the comfort of my own home where I own the property. I don't have only have property taxes, and I can open and close it as I please. Now, there were some comments inside of the video that I like I said, I 100% people are like survival of the fittest. I absolutely agree. Survival of the fittest is absolutely a thing right now for smaller LGSs. If you've had even longer standings, then I'm sure that you're probably able to get some of the product that you're looking for. But it's definitely a big issue when it comes down to it. Some of the comments, like I said, when I was kind of putting on some satire, because I know people do that, is going in is if someone comes behind you and takes the same amount, they're ethical. In my opinion, both parties are fine and neither should feel bad. I do feel bad. I have a conscience if I do even go in for Sword and Shield products. And like say, if there's Crown Zenith tins, I will always leave product behind. I am not the type of person to clean shelves. I will never be the type of person to clean shelves. I want people to have opportunity. I want kids to have opportunity, and I want to have others to get an opportunity at these products. And that is just the way I am. That is my conscience kicking in, and I am 100% on board with leaving product. And for me, it feels ethical. Once again, it's what you have to do to be able to sleep at night, and what makes you comfortable is definitely going to be what you need to do for you when it comes down to that. If you have no problem in your head of just going in and completely ripping everything off the shelves, absolutely, if that's okay with you, then absolutely do it. I mean, it's up to you. It's all up to you. When it comes to business, a lot of times business in the United States, in capitalism, it's cutthroat. If you have an opportunity, you take it, you capitalize, and you make your margins, and you do what you need to do. When we sit there and talk about all of the other kind of comments we have in here, like one of them here is, as an LGS, I would consider that scalping, regardless of the amount someone bought. We don't partake in it. Even when the local LGSs do. I see that as a poor business model or planning. A business shouldn't be scalping to survive. We sell at new releases and close as close to MSRP as we can, usually within $5. Yes, we sell out within 45 minutes or so, but that's the current market. Now, I agree and disagree with this complete statement. So, if you're an LGS and you're getting plenty of product, I understand. If I was an LGS and I got the product, how do you survive? If you made your business specifically on Pokemon, like some LGSs have, some of them have expanded into other things. There are other growths. There are other opportunities in that market, and there are other things that can happen to create this. Now, I know some people like to say it's poor planning. I hear a lot of people say that poor planning is an issue. And you didn't plan for this. How do you plan for the situation in Pokemon? Honestly, if you are an LGS and you've sat there for years doing this and your allocations got cut down, not just for one set, not for two set, not for three sets, now you're going on to possibly 4 and 5 sets, how do you survive that? Because realistically now, most LGSs are now into Surging Sparks, their allocations got cut. Or they got or they got all of it, but they didn't get any opportunity to get any more. You go into Prismatic Evolutions, barely got any. All my LGSs locally barely got any. You go into now Journey Together, you're not getting any. They got, instead of 10 cases of booster boxes, they only got 2. Instead of getting a whole 4 cases of sleeve blisters, they got 1. Instead of getting 20 cases of ETBs, they got 3. These are the situations on where, how do you plan for that? How do you adjust as a business to be able to do that? Now, if your LGS has got several different facets, then yes. If you're an older LGS and maybe you've been around for 4 or 5 years, or some people like 10, 15 years, yes, you're going to have the other accounts and the other opportunities, but not all LGS is built like that. Since the last boom, LGSs and LCSs have become very sometimes characterized to one part of the hobby. Huge following of Pokemon, let's build a Pokemon LGS. Well, now I can't get Pokemon products, so now what do I do? Another big point. And honestly, I could sit there and completely shut down right now, and it really wouldn't make any difference to me in the long run. I could take my expenses. I can honestly run on Binder POS. I make over $100 on Binder POS every month. Very easily able to sit there and completely just walk away and move on, right? That's all that we really need to do. That's all the options I need to have, is just keep my Binder POS going, keep my bulk sales. I can sit there and sort all my bulk finally that I've got backed up and continue to move on it and keep working on it. But that's an option that I have as an online store. I have an online website. I could always put the website on mothballs and put it into stasis, shut it down, and let it sit. I could always stop doing live streams and shut everything down. But there's also another problem to that most people don't understand, is that regardless, that still becomes a big part of my income throughout the year as well. This hobby, this investment opportunity, this business growth has created a point in where it's also included into some of my income in the house. Why wouldn't I? If I'm sitting there working this many hours, then I should be able to allocate that money into myself and should be able to create that business opportunity and have that growth myself. And I think that that's another factor as well, is that, for the online salespeople and individuals, whether you're streaming and doing rip and ships, whether you're sitting there and trying to do, an online store such as mine, NorthwoodsCCG.com. You can go on it right now, and there's all kinds of cards because it's screwed up again because of Binder POS, but it is a legitimate store. I sell legitimate products, and I continue to move products on there, and they move depending on how much I'm paying for them myself. So the prices change, the prices vary depending on what I have to pay to get them in. And basically, I try and sell as close to MSRP as possible, but I do adjust and kind of move where I need to. Once again, these are all situations that you can sit here forever and try and fight and decide whether or not you're an LGS, whether you're a scalper, whatever situation you want to put into it. That is completely going to be in the eyes of the beholder when it comes down to it. So I might piss some people off, but in general, most people, if you're doing things for survival, you do what you need to do. Business 101 is you do what you need to do to survive. Doesn't matter what business you're in, doesn't matter what hobby it's in, where you're at, if it's an HVAC company, if you're a plumber, if you're owning a retail fabric shop, or if you're sitting there in a Pokemon or an LGS. In general, you do what you need to do to survive, and you do it as best that you can in the most ethical way in your own head that you can to make sure that you don't sit there and create a big problem for yourself futuristically or for your community. Personally, I'd rather protect community over anything, but I do understand when an LCS tells me that they have to go to Walmart and raid the shelves in order to bring it to their place to be able to sell it. I will not agree with anybody that says that that's wrong. Cleaning off shelves, definitely wrong. But once again, like this one comment here, ethics and business don't mix. As long as it's legal, do whatever it takes to further your business. That is the number one capitalistic view that you can look for in this hobby. And like I said, this may make people mad. Once again, another maybe hot take live. Do I care? A little bit. I don't want to make everybody mad. I want everybody to understand that there is points to where things go and how things work and how we need to do things. But in general, I think that there's a good medium ground to where people can survive in this hobby pretty realistic and have growth, have opportunity, and be good. So, once again, guys, that's kind of where I'm at on it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are completely off and don't think that this is right, I completely understand. I won't argue with that. I'm trying to make one adjustment here and it's still not working. Okay. So, once again, that's where we're at, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know in the comments after this live if you can stand with the blurry video. I do apologize. I do see that it's still way out of whack for whatever reason. So, thank you, Haida, so much for putting that in. Same issue, but I'm good with it, and I understand. I don't know why. Just got to try and figure out the new internet. It's probably some silly setting that I'm missing, or nothing. Something's not working like it should on the coder. So I'll have to figure out what's going on and work on it. I'll work on it in the private section, get that done. So, but once again, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if it makes any sense to you, or if you just think that the train of thought is completely crazy. I do truly believe that businesses need to do what they need to do to survive. If this is the market and the hands that they're dealt with, and this is the way that things are going to lay out, then they need to do what they need to do. I will never judge someone for doing what they need to do to survive in a business format. But I'm not doing as many lives. I'm sure. Yeah, I know probably people here on YouTube haven't noticed it as much. It's not as noticeable because I just kind of started putting them up on YouTube. But I am doing less lives currently at this point in time, just because of the fact that overall, it just doesn't work so well. I mean, to me, I don't have the product, I don't have the availability, and I don't have the stuff to be able to handle selling that much. So if I have something going on offside of live right now, and if I have something that's going on where I don't need to go live, I've been taking that opportunity a little bit, and I've been going with it just because of the fact that it works better for me to leave some product on the shelf and just continue to sell through my online sales. TikTok sales still been doing really well. I continue to come home and I have to pack orders. And that's just pretty much the good things that we have going right now is that the order packing still going. We still have stuff going on that end. We do have plenty on the rip and ships. When we do go live, we do sell quite a bit and things stay very, very, very busy. Lots of people in the live chat and a lot of discussions. I mean, lots of packs flowing when we do have them. We're out of right now. I completely sold out of Lost Origin sleeve blisters. I've completely down to just a few of Journey Together from the ones I did get. And Surging Sparks is disappearing quite quickly as well, along with a lot of the ETBs that we currently have in stock as well. So as the ETBs continue to disappear, It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun still, but it's just being reduced with the amount of times that we can go live and actually work with that stuff. So overall, still really healthy market, really healthy, really good opportunities overall. A lot of good things that could still, we can see and continue to have move forward here in the near future. We just need to see more product. We got to see more product. That's our bigger problem when it comes down to everything right now, is the fact that we don't have any product coming, and it's going to continue to hamper the overall availability for people to do business. So all right, guys, it's been really quiet. I know it's a Wednesday night. I know I probably made some people in the chat mad. I know that's probably where we're at right now, but you know, it is what it is. I just hopefully you're still out there, and hopefully you're having a fantastic evening here as we're kind of just chilling and relaxing. If anybody's got anything in the chat, please put it up. I do apologize for anybody coming in about the blurriness or the delay in the video. I don't understand why, because it's should be encoding. It's just the only thing that's changed is I got new internet. I don't know why that would cause this particular issue right now on OBS. And I can't make like live. I wish I could make it live adjustments where I could sit here and maybe try a couple of these settings. I just don't know what's going on with the settings to do that. But once again, guys, thank you everybody for joining in. Keep watching for things. I do know we still are seeing some Crown Zenith products coming through at the stores right now. So if you are looking for that long-term investment on Crown Zenith right now, there's some great opportunities to pick that up as MSRP. MSRP right now at your local stores. Walmart just dropped a bunch of the 5-pack tins and also some of the 4-pack tins as well. So we have had both of them come through. They've had also a lot of the blisters. Uh-oh, now I completely lost the video. Let's see if I can fix the video now. Maybe this will fix it. But anyways, maybe not. It says it's on. I don't know why it can't see me. No idea. OBS is killing me, man. It's got to be all on OBS right now. But yeah, I just wanted to say that there are some good products coming through. There are some things that are kind of flowing through right now when you're looking for those particular products and availability. Definitely check out your Walmarts. Little sleeve blisters of Stellar Crown coming through, Temporal Forces. Seen some Obsidian Flame show up in our stores, and there are those opportunities out there right now for those as well. So great little pickups if you're trying to get those little investments, last chance grabs at some of them. Definitely available. Just very sporadic. You'll get them here and there. I've not seen prismatic evolutions at all in the stores, at least for quite some time now. Keep hoping that maybe we'll see some more here shortly, but right now, just not really happening. Not seeing prismatic. Journey Together, we got that one release of Journey Together right on the release day of it, but we have not seen it since. And let's see. Just looking through all the stuff. I had some notes here for some other things as well. Yeah, Journey Together, definitely not showing up again on the second round here this week. We'll check again this week and see if any more Journey Together. I just like kind of scouting to see what's coming in for Journey Together or these latest sets. Dollar General does have prismatic evolutions ETB or tins. So if you're looking for those mini tins of prismatic evolutions, the EV style tins, they have been showing up at Dollar General. So there is that opportunity for that as well. So if you're looking for those, there's definitely that potential sitting out there. And basically for investments, it's been very slow. Good turnarounds on some graded cards. So if you're looking for those grading opportunities right now in this current market, they are available, and there are some really good ones right now. Able to turn. Grading market in general has kind of slowed down a little bit. We've been seeing kind of a pullback on some of the especially the Illustrator rares and the Secret Illustrator rare cards. So like I said last week, we talked about it. The Bubble Mew kind of took a little bit of a slide back. The Clefairy, Lily's Clefairy, when it comes down to the newest one here, has kind of found a settling point now. We aren't seeing it slide any longer. It stopped at about 205. went down to about 285 and then kind of retracted and started to go back up a little bit, back up to that 205 range. But once it got to about 205, we've kind of seen it stabilize at that point in time. So Journey Together cards are starting to stabilize now. The Salamance, again, about 115. Once again, it seems pretty close to where were last week when we were discussing that particular card. So we are seeing some stabilization in Journey Together. If we don't see more product to Journey Together, I could see that also doing a little bit of a turnaround and starting to see some gains back the other way as well. So it's really just going to depend on if we see product, how much of that product we see, and if that product is actually going to amount to anything to the populations in these particular cards. So we can go back and once again, we can go back to some of the other sets, such as Paldean Fates and the Bubble Mew. Definitely a great example. Raw, it's still sitting at about $330. We haven't seen a huge change in the price on that here in the last week. And if we go into the graded market has continued to kind of slow down. We were at a peak of about almost $1,100, and now we're all the way down to about $825. Last week when we talked about it on April 2nd, we were about $850. So we are starting to see some retracts on some of these particular cards. Again, continuing to kind of slide, especially in Illustrator and Secret Illustrator Rare. I've had some people ask me why that is. Why do I think that that's occurring? Well, to be 100% honest, I think a lot of that is strictly occurring because of the fact that they shot so high that there's this natural recourse. And it's not going to, do I think it's crashing? A lot of people are asking if these products are crashing, if these cards are crashing. And the answer to that is no, I don't think we're in a crash. I just think that we're in a retrack or a correction on these particular cards. And that correction is definitely due. I mean, you can't continue to see straight up growth, no staggering, all the way up, and not expect some kind of retract or recourse on those particular items. So overall, once again, not surprised with that current actions right now on that part. I think that that's pretty much right where we would expect to see it right now and what we would be expecting to see here. And definitely going to continue to see some retract on some of these particular cards in the near future. It's not going to stop with that. And I do apologize once again for the video. And we can go back to some of the Sword and Shields ones too, because we did see some really big movements on the Sword and Shield products as well. So if we go even to Crown Zenith here, we did have that big bump even on there where we've seen the PSA 10, like Mewtwo, go to like 315, and now it's kind of retracted now down to 250. Same thing with the raw cards too. We've kind of seen a bump up to about 122, and now we're seeing kind of a retract on those. So all this kind of big push that we've seen is starting to have some draw backwards on them. You know, we can go to the Tina V-Star, another example. Everybody was really hyped about the gold Tina V-Star from Crown Zenith. We're seeing the exact same thing. About $510 at its peak, and now we're already back down to about $361. If you go to the raw pricing, if we go back to its peak, it was about 207, and we're back down to about 185. So this market is going to continue to kind of retract right now. I do still think that we're kind of in a semi-bull market because it is still easy to sell products. It's just you're not able to sell at these exuberant prices that you were able to sell at just recently. Now it's more starting to become it's easy selling if you sit there and kind of come up to market or continue to kind of move with the slow track down. So if you do pull these cards, if you do buy these cards here 6 months ago, you know, for example, if you would have sat there and bought the Tina back in the summer of 2024, you would have been able to pick that up for around $92 for that particular card, and right now you're able to sell it for $186. So you're doubling market still from where we were in the end of summer into November of last year to now. You're still seeing a really, really good gain on those opportunities, almost 100% gains on a lot of these cards. And you could see them drop back down maybe the 50% of their gains. I don't think they're going to retract down below the value that they were this summer. I think that you're going to see them still hold some value. You know, Origin Form Palkia. We go through all the gold cards here in Crown Zenith. You know, you can sit there and kind of take a look at every one of them if you want and see how they've been performing. But it's kind of the general same statement on all of these. And I think that it's a pretty fair assessment to sit there and think that we might continue to see that as we keep moving in throughout the year here. So summer's coming. As summer's coming in, of course, if you're into the investment side of the Pokemon TCG, we are going to have opportunities to potentially come in and buy some of these products. Again, summertime is usually the slower part of the year, and it gives you a good opportunity to get in on some of these products at the slower time of the year and be able to purchase in for your investments. Or if you're looking for those potential long-term sales or streaming stuff, definitely be able to capitalize and hold on to that. And just remember, then we get into the fall season. So summer's always going to be your slow time, at least here in the northern hemisphere in the English market, just because most of it's in the northern hemisphere except for Australia. So you are going to have that little bit of a valley that's going to happen in the summer. We're going to see slowdowns. Tax returns now are starting to fade as we go into May. It gets warm outside. People aren't sitting inside playing TCG any longer. People are outside having fun, camping. They're going out with friends. They're doing that kind of stuff. And that's going to be a factor. Okay. So overall, definitely still going to have the stuff available, and you're going to have some really good opportunities to buy into these particular products over the next few months. Remember, if you are looking at the investment side of things and you're looking for a little shorter investment, start purchasing through the summer months, usually starting about June and July through August, and plan for the end of October going into November to become pretty heavy as we come into the Black Friday, getting closer to that Christmas season as well. So that's a good rule of thumb, is to just plan for the summer months being your time to buy in, store up your money, and be able to sit there and purchase the things that you're trying to either long-term hold or get ready for the season where we might see some really good gains, especially on singles and sealed products from especially early Scarlet and Violet. Late Sword and Shield products will really do well going into there. The other one that I always kind of laugh about is so once again, there is that play out there. If you're looking, we do have like the booster packs now are really disappearing off the shelf. It's funny as that sounds, but you can go into some of them and get that Mimikyu for $50, and you can get the Gengar for $50 right now on a PSA 10 for a really cheap price. Pikachu, sitting there as well. So it's just kind of funny that them booster packs that you can get a lot of cards for a really low price realistically on those particular items and be able to do well on them if you can get some good centered ones. The packs also don't sell too bad, to be 100% honest. I've seen some really good sales on those particular cards as well in the storefronts. So the actual single packs, and now they're even selling them in some of the other packs as well, like the lightning packs or whatever they are at Sam's Club or at Walgreens's and CVS's have had those in them as well. So once again, I do apologize if the video is way off. Something's going on with the decoder going into YouTube after I did. So I've got broadband internet now, but whatever it is, it's messing with the decoder on my OBS. So maybe it's a good thing because the screen is black and you're still hearing me. The sound is on time, but the video is way, 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 way delayed, I believe. Maybe it's blacked out now. But no, it's still going. So the video is like right now, like 5 minutes delayed, 6 minutes delayed. So we're going to go to the chat here. We got Hitus, thank you so much for joining. Same issue, but all good. Yep. Antonio, how's it going tonight, Antonio? Hopefully you're doing well. Dash is here, and he said, I just saw the cards for Destined Rivals so far, and I don't really like any of the cards. Hopefully it stays this way so that I can save my money for the next set. LOL. Yeah, because right now only Heatwave Arena came out, and I believe Heatwave Arena is only part of it. And I'm pulling it up right now because I did kind of look through it now that the secret rares and all that have been revealed for Heatwave Arena. So if we look at them, I mean, I kind of like Cynthia, but I wish it wasn't Roserade. It should have been Garchomp. I don't know why they did a Cynthia's Roserade instead of a Cynthia's Garchomp inside of there. That was one of them I did not understand. The Rapidash card to me is pretty sweet. I'm liking the art on that one. There's also Misty Psyduck, I think is fairly decent as well. I kind of like the artwork on that overall, and having Misty and Psyduck is definitely a great little grab on that part. The Lapras card, Misty's Lapras is all right. It's not as detailed as the Psyduck, but in general, Cynthia's Garchomp down here EX is a good idea. But I don't know why they made it Cynthia's Roserade instead of Cynthia's Garchomp, and maybe that card just isn't. There it is. So there's a Cynthia's Garchomp EX as well. I think that one's going to do really well. I missed that one. I put it down at the bottom of the list for some reason, but that's all right. I found it here. So yeah, the Cynthia's Garchomp I think is pretty sweet. I do like that card. I think it's going to do really well. So I do think that there's some cards in that are going to be okay. Pichu is pretty cool as well. I think that that's pretty cool. Slugma or Ethan's Adventure I think is pretty cool with Pichu. But and then Cynthia's Garchomp EX Gold I think is going to do rather well also. So I think there's some really good. There's some good cards in it. Are they all great? We'll see. I mean, they're not all great. And the other question is too, is Heatwave Arena going to be the only set for this, or are they going to have two sets like typical? I have not done my research on that either. So I don't know if Heatwave Arena is just going to be the only part of this set, because let me see how many cards are in Heatwave Arena. I mean, it's only 92 cards, so there must be another set coming. Because there's only 92 cards available. So yeah, I'm hit and miss. I think that there's some good things and some. I think there's some good cards, and there's going to be some slackers as well. The Ethan's Typhlosion, pretty cool as well. I think that's a pretty cool one. Rocket's Moltres. Now, why am I not seeing that on my list of SARs? Or is that just not on here yet? Maybe the list I'm looking at, because I'm looking at Pokebeach and I don't see it on here. Hydrapla. We got Hydrapla again. The set and Rocket set and Heatwave. Yeah, so I got to pull open this one. So Heatwave Arena's got some good ones. Let me pull that open real quick. Yeah, the Glory of Team Rocket. That's the one I was looking for. Glory of Team Rocket. So let's pull open the first look on that. The Moltres. I think the Rocket Moltres is pretty good. I'm looking at that one right now. I think that that's going to be a fairly decent card. Just going through. Why am I not finding all of them here? Heatwave Arena, don't care. Here we go. Glory of Team Rocket. So, yeah, some of them. The Zamazenta, I think, is pretty cool. They took that one. They took the Zacian art and turned it into the Zamazenta art. I think that one's going to be fairly good on that one. Yeah, I mean, the Rockets Moltres, I think, is going to be pretty hot as well. Team Rockets Moltres. I think it's a really cool cool artwork there for the full art version. The team, now we finally got an illustrator rare for Meowth, so we've got Team Rocket's Meowth sitting there. I think that that's going to be a pretty popular card. And Team Rocket's Wobbuffet, of course, two of the classic Team Rocket cards sitting right there. So there's going to be some, but I think that your majority of your hot cards seem to be coming from Hot Heatwave Arena. Is going to be your bigger one. Let's see here. Hideous says, really surprised that Paldean Fates hasn't had a huge reprint yet. There's been Shrouded and Prismatic already with specialty sets. I know. And it's just not even like Shining Fates. But I know a lot of us thought that we were going to be seeing something similar to like Shining Fates, where you were going to have that product like all of a sudden just reprinted continuously. But we haven't gotten any big reprints. I mean, that's the bigger problem. The fact that we don't get any reprints right now has just been kind of, sad that we can't find that. It'd be really nice to see. We have to wait till they leak Mewtwo SIR. I know that's going to be the big one. I'm hoping for a armored Mewtwo. If it's an armored Mewtwo, take my money. I'm all in at that point. So, yeah, armored Mewtwo, take my money. I'm all in. So I was hoping to see a leak on that here, but it has not occurred yet. But hopefully in the near future we will have a leak on that Mewtwo. Trying to make adjustments here and seeing if I can get that camera to come back. I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, Rocky. Yeah, SAR Mewtwo. We need to see that. That's gonna be the real player when it comes down to that set in general. Yeah, SAR for them, SIR for us. The same old, same old. Yeah. Once again, guys, thank you everybody for joining in. We're kind of I know it's Wednesday. We're a little bit offbeat next week. Now I just got to figure out what's going on with the camera, which yeah, it is what it is. We'll get it all figured out here. Sometimes it just takes some adjustments to get things rocking and rolling, but we'll get that all figured out, get that all set. Yeah, see, it lost all my cameras all of a sudden. I wonder if something's going on with my cameras on here. Prismatic Super Premium Collection allocations, none. I did not get any. I was contacted. I did put down for 6, I believe, 3 through each one of mine, which was the max that they told me, and they informed me that that was not going to happen. So basically, I currently do not have any allocations for the Prismatic Super Premium Collection, which really sucks because that means I'm going to have to try and find it on the open market and pay probably 10 times the price or try and beat down a scalper in order to be able to try and get the thing. So I want one. I want one for my collection because I have one of every one right now, but whether or not I'm going to be able to get it at MSRP or if I'm going to have to pay stupid, ridiculous prices is yet to be seen. So we'll find out. But nope, I did not get any hiatus on that. I pretty much got shot down on any of the pre-orders for anything past Journey Together. Basically, both of my distributors pretty much told me after Journey Together that I am not big enough to get any allocations for anything. I put down for the ones for that, and then they emailed me back saying they canceled. So, yep, don't have any. Be nice. I would like to just be able to get one, but I might try. I'm trying to right now set up some different sources. Once again, I'm forced to going into. Yeah, Pokedata app is pretty easy to use. I love Pokedata. That's the number one source that I have that I use. Basically, it's a very good overall source to be able to find the information that you're looking for, that you're able to see all the different price ranges and be able to definitely make decisions on how you want to proceed on sending things in for grading, or if you want to grade them, it gives you good insights on recent sales, especially on the grading side, because you can check out the eBay sales and know how they're performing and get a list of all the recent ones. So if you're questioning whether or not you should grade something for a profit, you can go ahead and take a look at the. You can go ahead and jump on the Pokedata.io and see how recently it's been selling. So I can go back like now and see that the 9s are selling at 25 to 23. Last 10 sold at 130 of the Dustsnore EX or Dusclops. I just pulled that open just to try it and see what I'd get. So 130 was the last sale, and then you can go down the list. You can see there's another one sitting here right now for 124. There's a recent one at 144. So it kind of gives you an idea where the market is currently on cards because you can see that sales list, and you can also see it for the raw cards as well. And you can see how well that they're performing when it comes down to the sales on the raw. It says locally, I've noticed everyone is hungry for Crown Zenith ETBs. I still think at current price, it's a good deal. I think so. Crown Zenith has been doing extremely well, even on my Rippin' ships. It's been probably the number one most requested set right now. It seems like it's finally getting some legs, and honestly, they're $136 right now for Crown Zenith ETB. Do I think that that's crazy? No, considering that they were just. I think that's pretty high right now. I think that's probably where we should be on this current market. So I think that they're doing extremely well. The Pokemon Center one is about $285 currently. So I think that overall, I think Crown Zenith is coming to a place where it's going to plateau again just for the price, unless we see some really big price increases on more than just that Tina. As long as we see that Tina kind of sitting where it's at right now, the other cards in the raw form. So if I go to the raw pricing on those particular cards, the Tina is at about 186, and that's going to be your highest one. And then we have two of them, the Mewtwo and the Arceus, sitting at about 100 to 110. And then you got the Palkia and the Dialga sitting at about 75 apiece. The other ones have kind of retracted as well. The even if you go raw to the TCG Player Raw on the Leafeon V-Star here, it was about $50. We've currently kind of sitting, kind of slowly coming back down to about $40 on that one. So we're starting to see some retracts. And when you're seeing retracts on the raw cards, that means that you're going to have a situation where people aren't really going to spend a lot on the ETBs. They're just having a lot of fun. And there we go. I see on the live that we finally lost the picture as well. So I do apologize for this. But we're almost to the end at 10 o'clock here. Um, Titus says Crown Zenith is iconic for pull rates, fun factor, and artwork. I agree. Really, really good stuff inside of that set, and a lot of fun on that. Antonio, I got 6 Pikachu full arts for celebration. It's a $1 raw, but PSA 10 is way worth it. I'm gonna have to find my Pikachu from TG5. Yes, both of which are doing really well. The full art Pikachu from Celebrations, really, really doing well, but it tells me it's a very, very hard, very, very hard grade when it comes down to that. So it's going to be really interesting because it's $1.50 raw. And if you can get in a PSA 10, you're sitting at about $375 currently for that particular card. There have been recent sales at that price, so that's not like a one and done type of number. And I definitely think that it's worth trying to dig through some of your bulk if you got some from Crown Zenith or from Celebration, because we know that Pikachu was not a hard pull rate. It was fairly easy to pull, but apparently it's got a lot of print lines. The ones I have all have print lines or off center, so it's not an easy find to try and get that really, really good card on there. So, and we got TG. Which one's TG5? Which set? TG5. That's not this one. Oh, the Sleeping Pikachu. Yep, that's another good one that's out there as well. He just said, Antonio just said 375 highest PSA 10. Yeah, that's the highest PSA 10, and that's the most recent sale for that Celebrations Pikachu as well. It's going to be 379, but it had been consistently selling before that. If you pull it open for not the flying Pikachu, that's not gonna help me. Only issue with Pikachu is PSA grading times. Yeah, well, that's just it. Because you're looking at right now, I've got stuff out that's coming close to 30 days, and it's still sitting in their receiving bin. It always says shipped from GameStop, but that just means that it's in there. It's been received and hasn't been brought in. But on the PSA 10, even on that raw, the Pikachu, the Celebrations Pikachu full art was still about 125. We've seen quite a few sales right now at over $300. So 315. You got one at 305. You got one at 332. You got one at 340, and then you got one at 379. So there's been a lot of recent sales on that. And decent sales. And it's not just like a one and done. Like there's one at 375, so it really sends that market crazy. It's been more than one and above 300. So I mean, if I were to get that card in a 10, I'd probably list it at about 325, or list it at 380 and see if it sells in the first couple days or a week or so. And if not, then drop it down to 350, then 325, and I think you'd see that one go fairly well above $300. I don't think it'd be very hard if you can get it in a 10. I think the harder part's actually going to be pulling it off to get to a 10. Pikachu from Lost Origins, the TG5, really, really decent card as well. $13 card right now. I can tell you right now, it's not as easy to find in a clean centering. I do have 2 of them out to grading right now with PSA, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. Haida says the singles market is scary right now. LOL. It is. It's a very volatile market right now. But right now, I'd be really watching at purchasing into some of these singles because we are seeing a retraction. So basically, kind of watch until you see it kind of flatline, and I think that you do fairly well, especially on the older ones, like back in Sword and Shield era, early Scarlet and Violet. I think where there's probably very low risk of reprint coming from those, that you'll be okay. I think you'll see some really good opportunities here in the near future. Antonio says sent mine on February 29th and got it back April 8th. Very nice, because I've got one. Let me see it, because I can open up right now on my account for GameStop, because I've been sending 15 cards every 2 weeks. So I'm just trying to create a constant flow right now to try and keep them, and that way if time changes, we've got some time. So I've got one that went out. So I'm at March 1st is my first one, and that one is actually received. So that one is now working through process. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's actually not doing it. That's pretty good time frame, honestly, when it comes down to it. It's actually faster than the last one. So The one is PSA received from March 1st, so that means it's working through the order. The one from March 15th is sitting there, and it's just been shipped. And then I have the one on March 29th, and that one is just been shipped. And then this weekend here, because like I said, I'm going every 2 weeks. So yes, this weekend coming up here on the 12th, I'll probably send another group as well. So I'm just constantly every 2 weeks trying to send out some cards and keep them moving. I have 14 boxes of the Umbreon version of Tag Team Powers collection box. Can't believe how low those went, or how high those went. Yes, the you're talking the yeah, the promo one, the Umbreon promo. Anything Umbreon's just gone crazy. If we go Sun and Moon, isn't it kind of nice? That's what I like about PokéData. You can give me this. I can go to, okay, that was a Sun and Moon promo, and I can go here, and I can go the Umbreon, and you're talking. Are you talking the You got the tag team? Are you talking the Umbreon Darkrai card, or are you talking the Umbreon GX? Because the Umbreon Darkrai has done extremely well for a promo. Because that's gone all the way up to Raw. It's $120 currently for that particular card. And I know I bought a couple versions of this at, yeah, TCG Player. I'm looking at what it was, TCG Player. Yeah, because I bought a bunch of these over at North Carolina when I went there. Yeah, the one Umbreon and Darkrai and Espeon Deoxys promo. So, yep. So I bought a bunch of these over at North Carolina. I actually bought 5 of these there, and I paid $40 a piece for them, and now I see they're at $121. So overall, really, really good gains on these cards. Boxes are selling upwards of $800. Yeah, they're just insane. Yeah, the Espeon Deoxys GX. I have a couple of these as well. I'm just looking. Yeah, I guess they're doing about the same if you look at the actual raw price for one for comparatively, because it was a lot cheaper. These were $24, and currently they're up to $63 to $70 currently on that one as well. All really, really good. I like both of them. Anything with evolutions right now, I'm a big fan of. I think honestly, and like I said, this is a really big hot take as well. Some people will see this as a hot take and completely fight me, but I feel like evolutions are the new Charizards here in the current generation. So if you're looking at going back and you're looking at previous sets, you go back to Sword and Shield, you're looking at the best sets are evolutions, and some of the hottest cards are evolutions. And now here we are again in Scarlet and Violet era, and the best set right now is an evolution set, and the most expensive cards are evolutions cards. So you're running into the same thing over and over and over again. It seems like evolutions are hot, 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 and they are going to continue to be hot. 3 years ago when I did that video, I almost got burned at the stake, but hey, I will stand by it still to this day that if you are still passing on evolutions and buying Charizards over evolutions and overpaying on Charizards right now, you are going to regret it. I think that a lot of these evolutions, especially if they're in sets, are doing extremely well. And as you can see, even promos are doing extremely well. So both of them are great options right now out there. So, well, guys, thank you, everybody. Like I said, screen's black. I do apologize here. I'm going to have to go through and reset some things and play with my decoder a little bit here with the broadband. My PSA 9 Umbreon VMAX Alt Arts Secret Rare price might go up. Well, what is it at currently? So that's the one from Fusion Strike, right? So if we go to Fusion Strike, and so in the raw, it's a 300, and so I mean, it's still, you'd be better off cracking it. Right now, it's selling on TCG Player for $325 recent sales. Wow, that card, I wasn't even paying attention to that card. Some of these cards I don't even pay attention to anymore. I've got them in my personal collection. I just don't watch them. The Gengar, I can't believe the Gengar's already almost up to $650 as well. And actually, that kind of went down because it was at $750. Now it's down to $650. Yeah, the PSA 9 will probably catch up to it unless there's a high volume of the 9s. So if we take a look, I mean, you're actually got it's a pretty easy 10 comparatively. So I think the 9s will probably catch up to the raw fairly quickly. It's just going to take a little bit of time once again to do that. The other one that gets me is the Rainbow Bubble or the Rainbow Mew from Fusion Strike as well. Another one of those cards that was like $30 forever. Now I see it's already up to 55. It's starting to move. PSA 10, that's a $115 card as well. Kind of looking. I mean, the other one that some people might have a bunch of them, and actually it's funny, is the Gengar VMAX. So just the standard Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike right now, sitting at a PSA 10 is sitting at $117 from Fusion. Just looking to see if I've got that binder down here because I was just kind of curious. And look, if I got any of them in my binders that are worth anything. Sometimes they get pretty rough, and I don't. Yeah, see this one not. I got a couple of them in here, and they don't look too bad. That one I might. I'm gonna have to look at a couple of these and see if they're gradable because, like I said, if you can get a good VMAX or VMAX and it'll grade good, why not? I mean, if you're looking once again, it's if you're looking for these income things right now, it's absolutely a great chance to jump in on some of those and take a shot. I'm just looking. Yeah, because I got three of them here. Two of them, that Mimikyu looks pretty good too. What's the Mimikyu from Brilliant Stars doing? It's another one of those. Mimikyus are typically a fan favorite, and sometimes they do really well without you even realizing it. Let's see. Let's go to the Mimikyu from Brilliant Stars. Yeah, that Umbreon Raw is on fire. Let's see. Let's make an adjustment here because sometimes you go to PSA 10 on Pokédata. Because the other one's really cool is the Zekrom. So if you are watching for cards that are gradable, Zekrom from Brilliant Stars right now in a PSA 10, 165. The Mimikyu V. So the one with her walking in with Mimikyu watching TV is 162. The Umbreon V from the Trainer Gallery is 166. The Umbreon V Max from Trainer Gallery is 180. And the Charizard right now in that set is 203. Then we can go on down. I mean, there's some really good cards. The EV, there's a lot of the evolutions are doing really well for just being yellow bordered trainer galleries as well in that set. So there's some good opportunities, and even the Mimikyu VMAX. So if you can get that Mimikyu VMAX, so if you've got a bunch of VMAXs laying around, which is very common pull, right now that's sitting at $55 currently in a PSA 10. And let me open it up real quick and see, make sure, because before I give you that information, I like to see if there's been in recent sales. And yes, there's actually been a sale at $80, one at 70, 52, 46 or 47, 55, 47, 65, 70, 65 down to 55. So there's been some recent sales in that 50 plus category, 50 to 70 range. So once again, if they're there, if you're trying to find a way to do business and you're trying to find a way to get away from possibly buying sealed product and trying to flip it, this is a great opportunity right now as long as PSA can handle the load that's coming through to be able to do that. EV Trainer Gallery 11, yes, that's the one I was just talking about as well. Yeah, any of the evolutions and EVs are doing extremely well in the set. So even in Brilliant Stars, so evolutions in general, still sitting very hot. EV 120 for the EV right now currently. And then if you go to the Flareon, it's 116. The Jolteon is 102. And the Vaporeon Trainer Gallery card is also $90. One thing I don't understand, and I wanted to get into like Pokemon's head on their thought process on this. Did you notice in the Trainer Gallery that they didn't put all the evolutions and Eevee together in Brilliant Stars? I would love to know why they didn't line them up. Like they didn't make the Eevee like, trainer TG1, put Flareon TG2, what would it be? Vaporeon TG3 and Jolteon TG4. They put Octillery between the line and they put Eevee way out at 11. It's like, why didn't you line them up? I don't know. It's not even like you can say it was an alphabetizing thing. The only thing I could think of is that octillery is a water. So they were going by the typing is the only thing I could see. Because they did, yeah, Flareon, Vaporeon, then they did Octillery, and then they went into Electric. So, yeah, I think that they should have put them together because it would have been really cool to get like a sequential set. Well, it's because of the typing. Because the Octillery is a water type, so they put Vaporeon and then Octillery in between, and then put um, Jolteon back in 4 because it's an electric type. So, because the typing is, the typing has always been fire. It's grass, fire, water, electric, psychic, dark, uh, fighting, normal. So that's typically the typing list that they do. So of course that's why Eevee's back. It's a normal. I mean, on the yellow borders, and then they restarted again on the black borders as well. We got here Antonio. Got alternate art Sylveon V. PSA 10 is awesome, but a PSA 9 is less than raw. And that's where I'm going. That's a good point, and it's maybe another way to sit there and try and grab some things is to try and get those cards. Brilliant Trainer Gallery is just fire. Low value, but still just amazing art. There's a lot of the good trainer galleries. My favorite is between the Brilliant Stars because I like all the evolutions in Brilliant Stars, and I really do like the Lost Origin as well. Lost Origin's got a really hot trainer gallery with the Gengars and Pikachus inside of there. I think that it's a really, really awesome set. You got Charizard in there because you got the Lance and Charizard inside of the Lost Origin. So it's a really hot trainer gallery as well overall. I think that there's some really good cards in all these sets for trainer galleries, but Brilliant Stars and Lost Origins kind of go back and forth for me. Silver Tempest also has a fairly decent trainer gallery as well. It's got that really nice Rayquaza VMAX trainer gallery card along with the Fire Chicken inside of it. Also got Milotic, very nice, nice ones in there. Blaziken V. The one card that is really nice in there as well is the Gardevoir. I do like the Gardevoir trainer gallery card inside of Silver Tempest. So all of them have some really good cards, some really nice opportunities in them. Antonio, think Trainer Gallery might be a bit underrated right now. Think the set has time to grow. I think so. I think you could jump in on a lot of these, especially as we continue down this road of more and more Illustrator Rares and Secret Illustrator Rares that we are currently seeing. If that continues into the next era in Pokemon here, whether we're going back to black and white like some speculate, or we're going to get a whole new trainer or a whole new group after this, a new era, whatever they're going to call. I'm actually surprised we should be seeing announcements for that, and the fact that we haven't is kind of interesting what they're doing. Because we are at the end of this year, we should be coming to the end of the line when it comes down to the trainer gallery world. But yeah, I think they're slightly under. I think if you bought in the trainer galleries right now, especially the black border and even the yellow borders at this point in time, I think is a good time to get in on some singles on those. I think they're going to do well. But all right, guys. Well, since the video is driving me crazy, I want to kind of play with that for a minute before I go upstairs. But I'm going to be calling it a night. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. I do have a video I'm hoping to have out either Friday or Saturday for you guys. I'm going to try and post one video every week as long as I can as well. Once again, thank you everybody that's following, continuing to support the channel. Greatly appreciated. Titus, as you can see, is a member of the Emoji Club, but I am trying to get 30 members by the end of the month, so please consider hitting that membership and joining into the Northwoods TCG membership. Trying to get 30 people by the end of the year to have one cup of coffee every day of the month while I'm working. So that's kind of my goal. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Make sure you check out the link down below for the merch as well. We have Northwoods TCG merch. Whether you're looking for your favorite t-shirts with the Gengar Made Me Do It, or if you want to just be nice, it's always great in the Northwoods. Make sure you check out the merch as well. You got hoodies and t-shirts available for you as in the description down below. Otherwise, thank you everybody for joining. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic week, and we hope to see you next Tuesday. When I say Tuesday in my head, but it's probably going to be Wednesday next week now that I think about it, because I do have a school board meeting on Tuesday, and I don't know if it'll be done in time because we're doing interviews for superintendent. So it may be Wednesday again next week. Let's just say Wednesday next week, 9 p.m. Central Time, as here on Northwoods TCG. That way we have our weekly live where we can get up to date with you guys here with what's happening in the Pokemon TCG. Otherwise, make sure you guys hit that like button before you leave. We have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.